Hi, this is James from the Hornbill Professional Services team, and this is a short tutorial to show you how to configure form field management on a CI form. So form field management is basically a way to control who can access to update CIs and what particular format do you want particular columns to be written in. So if we have a look at the categories first, so if we go into a manage CMDB categories and configuration types, so I'm going to go into hardware, then my configuration type of desktop. So you can set form field management from the top level and it applies down if you wish, or you can apply it direct to the bottom level, which is here I've got as desktop. So you can see the tab here of form field management. That will appear on each of the levels of configuration type. So at the moment it's completely blank, so it doesn't allow you to see what's currently been set. Nothing's been set, which means anyone can actually go in there and update a CI. So what we'll do is go to add new on the right hand side here, and this brings up a new form here. So it's asking us to select a table column. You'll see that it's shown a list of all of the main columns in the config item I table, which is the first page that you see when you open a CI, and also the extended information such as the make, model, rack number, serial number, etc. So you can control any of these. For this example I'm going to use description, so if I select description and we have set tasks here, we can choose whether we want the field to only be set by a specialist. So I'll show you what I mean by that. So if I tick that box and just simply click on add record, you'll see it's populated here. And within the analyst properties, so if I go into my administrator properties, then application rights, you'll see a tick box here for is a configuration specialist. So this is what this right means. If this box is ticked, it will allow me to update that description box. If it's not ticked, it won't allow me. So let's have a look at that in action. So let's go into a CI. So remember, it has to be under that particular category. And you can see here description, it's grayed out, so that's not allowing me to change it. It's not grayed out anything else. Obviously the other things are things that aren't being mandatory and grayed out by default, but it has grayed out this description, which is normally something that you can change. So if I re-tick that box, we'll see that I can change it. There we go. So you can see that's perfectly being able to add information and save it. Okay, so let's go back to where we set that up. So back in categories, hardware, and I put it in the desktop, form field management. Here we go. So now we confirmed that we want only the specialist to be able to update it. So there's other things you can configure in here as well. So there's two options here for diary entries. So when you actually update this particular field, it could force you to put something into the diary, or it can also ask you to, well, so it will automatically create one for you. So it will tell you this has been changed to this. So let's say we'll keep it the same there. Let's keep it so it opens a form. Let's save changes and give that a quick go. File, manage CMDB, configuration items. Go into the asset. And let's change this. There we go. This is an updated CI. Save changes. Aha, there we go. So it's asked us to add a new diary entry. It's helpfully actually added in what it's been changed from and to. So you can obviously add in more information in here, some action types, some sources, and actual date and time. I'm just going to click on add record. And what you'll see in that particular CI, obviously it's been updated. You'll also put into the actual action diary. There we go. So let's see what happens when we do an automatic diary entry. Let's go back into the category, configuration type. There we go. So let's untick that and go for the create an automated diary entry. Of course, you can tick both if you wish. Back into the CI. So now I'm going to save changes. It's not asked us to prompt for a diary entry. Let's have a look straight into the action diary, and you can see, there we go, this has been updated automatically. Definitely. So there's one more piece of functionality that you may wish to look at. If I go back into where I was, there we go. So we've got here advanced format checking. So if we click on the question mark here, you can see that it's given you particular formats that you can use for fields. Now this could be in a particular format, such as you can see here, hat, cat, dog. So these are expressions that you can use to make sure that maybe IDs are entered with the same sort of format, or maybe the description has a particular information at the start of the sentence, end of the sentence, or somewhere in the sentence. So for example, let's use this one here. So at the beginning of the string, it has to match this particular value. So if we use that, which is up, left, and then I'm going to say it needs to match ID to begin with, followed by 5. So it gives you actually a test value here. So you can actually use this as maybe ID 55897. Let's test that. So it's saying it's incorrect. So that's saying it's not matching what this has here. What we will see is that I55 does match. So what this means is anything in this particular brackets, if you want it to match with I then D, so in these brackets means that's the first letter. So you can include many more first letters here in terms of maybe F, B, N. So that means that it would need to be ID55 would match. It would mean that FD55 would match. There we go. And obviously you can add as much onto there. It will still match because it's at the beginning of the sentence. So it's worth testing that first just to make sure that works before you apply that to your particular fields. So let's apply that and just save changes and just prove that that works. CIs back into here. So remember, it's I'm going to try ID 55 maybe 001. There we go. Let's save changes. There we go. So it's done it. So let's see what happens when you don't match up. So let's say ID 5499. There we go. It's prompted me immediately saying the value is incorrect, please try again. And you can configure that error message from the same page that we've seen there. So from back into the categories, into my configuration type. So you can configure the error message that appears. So that's all for the actual form field management. There's a few handy bits of functions there that you can use to make sure that the right fields are updated with the right kind of format. If you have any questions, please let me know.